What's up everybody, welcome back to Double T Gaming. Hope everyone is having a great day today. Today we're going to be doing a small update to the Turtle WoW lawsuit. It's been about 2 weeks since my last video on this topic, and there have been some filings that have happened since then, but nothing too major to make me want to make a video in the moment about it. But I still wanted to make sure you were all up to date on what was going on and where the process was, as well as where other Classic Plus servers stood at the moment. But first, let's jump into what you're really here for, and that is the lawsuit for Blizzard versus Turtle WoW. And quick disclaimer, I am not a lawyer by any means. I'm reading this directly off of this website and giving my own understanding of what it means exactly. But please correct me in the comments if I say something dramatically wrong and you actually know what you're talking about. I'll also leave a link in the description to the court list and our docket for this case. You can subscribe to it and get an email notification whenever a new document is available. And real quick, if you want to stay up to date on all things Blizzard versus private servers or all Classic Plus news, hit the sub button, like the video, turn the notification bell on, and yes, that includes you right there sitting behind your phone. I'm talking to you right in that comment saying I'm talking too much, all that good stuff. That's enough plugging, let's get into it. So recapping the last video I did, the main things that you need to know are that 1, Blizzard applied for an out-of-state attorney to work with them on this case, named Teresa Bowman. So Blizzard had filed for a pro hack viche application in order to get that done. And it looks like originally with this application, the court wasn't able to find any record that she was admitted to the bar of the court, as well as she hadn't actually filed the application herself. So she had 5 business days to get this all taken care of, which she did, and then ended up being fully accepted into the case a few days later. As well as the official summons for Turtle WoW was issued and ready to be served, and that document is now fully released for us to view on the court listener docket. And this basically lists out Turtle WoW and all parties involved, so Torta, Shagu, as well as the AFK Craft Company, saying that they have been sued. So now that the summons is ready to be served, it's now up to Blizzard to arrange delivery of that summons and complaint to each defendant, and this is called a service of process. And once the service is completed, and the defendant, in this case being Turtle WoW, and all parties have actually been served, the plaintiff, or whoever they used to serve it, like a third party or something, prepares a proof of service when it's actually filed into the system. So based on the string of events that needs to happen, it doesn't look like they have actually served the summons yet, and I believe in this court, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, since this is international, then Blizzard just has to show they're making reasonable efforts in order to serve the summons, and the normal 90-day period doesn't apply here. I think it depends on the judge as to how long Blizzard actually has to get this served. Eventually, I think if Blizzard shows enough efforts, then I think they can have it served like alternatively if they get it approved, like maybe electronically or in some type of publication. But if they can't serve Turtle at all, then it could just get dismissed. And if they're only able to serve only some of the people listed out in the summons and not others, and they feel like that's enough, then they can move forward with the case against just those folks, and others might just get dismissed entirely. Now that's all based on my off-the-cuff research on this and just some basic processes that I found. So again, any actual legal experts and not just internet legal experts, let me know the actual process here of what's about to happen. But since those last filings, the other ones were really just related to that out-of-state attorney, Teresa Bowman, being accepted to appear on behalf of Blizzard, as well as Mark Mayer being labeled as local counsel. So as it stands today on September 18th when this was recorded, the pieces are in place from Blizzard's side. They have the complaint, they have the summons, they now just need to get it into Turtle's hands somehow. Now, how exactly they're going to do that, I have no idea, especially with these people being all around the globe. So this could take them a while to actually get served, if at all. But as long as they're showing efforts, then, the court can decide what they want to decide. But then the question becomes again, will Turtle even have to do anything? Like, even if they don't show up or they don't fight this at all, and Blizzard does win the case, how will that judgment be enforced at all where Turtle was hosted, which seems to be Russia based on a lot of comments? And Blizzard's only real play here, if Turtle does do that, and Turtle's just like, hey man, that's a really nice lawsuit you got there, I don't care. Blizzard would just have to lean on as many third parties as they can, the ones that kind of support Turtle WoW, like a payment processor or like hosting providers or something, try to cut out Turtle's legs. Because honestly, in my opinion, I don't think Turtle's going to respond at all. I don't even think they have to, because if they did fight this fully and showed themselves completely, as much as we hate to admit it, I don't think they actually have any shot of winning this in court, or maybe the argument that Blizzard has been neglecting this IP for years, or any of those other Classic Plus enthusiast sentiments that people have. I don't think those feelings are going to actually matter. Of course, that is my opinion, and if you know me, you know I am a private server and a Classic Plus enthusiast as well, and I do think Blizzard has been neglecting the IP for a long time and not giving the people what they want, especially this group of people. But I do play on both Turtle and Project Epoch as well as Bronzebeard, so of course I don't want Turtle to fall at all, but even so, it's important to be realistic with it. Honestly, at the end of the day, I don't think Turtle's going anywhere either way, which is much to the dismay of the anti-private server crowd. As big as Blizzard is, and even if Blizzard wins the case, they still have to enforce that judgment on Turtle, and I think a lot of places just don't care for US judgment at all right now, but either way, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this turns out. Speaking of Blizzard, since our last update, if you didn't know, they have been pretty busy. They shut down Everlook WoW, which is just a smaller, just vanilla private server running off the old client with a cease and desist. Then they served another cease and desist to Project Epoch, which forced the original Epoch team out and gave full ownership of the server to Ascension WoW. So I just want to reiterate real quick because I think there's still some confusion on this. Project Epoch is still online and there are close to 10,000 players on in total during peak hours between the two servers. The website is gone, the YouTube channel I think is down. There isn't really a lot of advertising at all going on for the server right now. It's basically just going through word of mouth, but it is all now run by Ascension WoW, and we are waiting on hopefully an update soon for them as we are looking forward to the first patch being released as well as raids being released. If you aren't familiar with Ascension WoW, they're probably the biggest WoW private server team in the entire community. Thousands of players play on their classes servers, and they have 2 custom classic servers, being Bronzebeard and Conquest of Azeroth, in the works as well, and a Wrath server coming out soon. And for those of you probably thinking, man, they'll just go after Ascension next, I don't think that's going to happen. Ascension has been around and heavily advertising their servers for years now, I think since like MOP or WoD. And I think Ascension knows that they have some type of geographic immunity, and Blizzard knows it as well. Of course, there could have been a lot of things that happening behind the scenes, like Ascension did get served with a cease and desist, didn't make it public, didn't act on it. Blizzard can't do anything, it is what it is. But I personally also think there's some maybe like backroom deal between Ascension and Blizzard. Nothing like conspiracy theory like, but I don't think it's impossible to think that Ascension may have helped Blizzard with the development of SOD, or Blizzard just lets Ascension go almost like a testing ground to see what players like. But anyway, bottom line on this point, Epoch is online, Ascension is safe, play the server, I think it's going to be fine. And also, if you didn't watch my previous video on the roadmap for both servers, go check it out. As of right now, that's all the information we have to go on regarding the future of content for both Ambershire on Turtle and as well as Project Epoch. Albeit the Epoch one is a bit dated, it's based on the original launch back in July, which did not happen. That ended up launching August 17th and probably will be pushed back even more. But again, hopefully the Ascension team can turn it around and start pushing out some more Classic Plus content that the original Epoch team had envisioned a long time ago. Because I personally have been enjoying my time on the server. But again, I'll keep you guys posted on all things Blizzard versus private servers as much as I can. Let me know your thoughts on the lawsuit down below. If you play on these servers, are there any doomsayers on them? Are people saying, it's the end of the world? I doubt it. I think a lot of these people are very tight-knit community. People love Classic Plus. They love what Turtle and Epoch are both doing. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts on the kind of the climate of inside the servers. But thank you guys for watching. This is Double T Gaming. See you guys in the next video.